Yes, so hello everyone. Welcome to Lucentum Webinars, Lucentum Basketball HUB Webinars. Today, very special edition, the Coaches Roundtable. And we cannot describe in words how grateful we are for their time and for the opportunity to join us, to share their expertise, to share their thoughts on key topics that we are all very much aware of. So not to waste a second, because time is right the most valuable assets in our business, in our lives in general. I would like to introduce our guests. José Neto, one of the Brazilian's most accomplished basketball coaches. He has served as a head coach of the Brazilian national team and led elite clubs in Latin America and the Middle East. His international success speaks for itself, including titles in FIBA America's League and various championships. I mean, his winning rate is one of a kind, I must say that, and it reflects his ability to building teams across different cultures. So thank you, Jose, being here with us today. Lukas Pivoda. Lukas is an emerging name in the European basketball, coming to with his data-driven perspectives in the game. He's based in Czech Republic, our new member of the Lucentum Basketball Hub. And he has contributed significantly to both club and national programs. Currently, he's the head coach of under 20 national team, and also he's coaching in the Czech Basketball Academy program. And last but not least, Mr. Don Showalter, who I must say that, I mean, doing our diligence and our research for this webinar. I think very few people impacted youth basketball in the United States as profoundly as Don Showalter did, with over 4 decades of coaching experience, including 10 gold medals as a head coach of USA basketball youth teams. I hope my numbers are correct. And our guest just has shaped the careers of many now NBA stars or previous NBA stars. And as a director of coach development of USA basketball, he continues to influence thousands of coaches and athletes through clinics, mentorships, and leadership programs. Definitely, his dedication to teaching the game the right way has earned him a global recognition. And thank you, Dorn, for being today with us. We are really excited about this webinar, about this roundtable. So I would like, because my introduction was brief, and definitely we'll need a webinar just to talk about your guys' careers. I would like Don to start with you and tell us what I missed. Tell us what we should know about Coach Don Showalter in all the perspectives and all the, let's say, the directions that your current job takes you at this moment in 2025.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for allowing me to be on the webinar. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and for your introduction as well. I'm director of coach development for USA Basketball. I give clinics really around the world as well, many in Europe and Asia with basketball. And then I also am coordinator of our junior teams, U16, 17, 18, 19 teams. I coordinate those now after coaching 10 of our youth teams, U16, U17, to gold medals. So that's where I stand now, and I'm really anxious to be a part of this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Don. We go now to let's say, for the more experienced one, to the youngest one in the room, Lukas. Tell us what is Lukas Pivoda doing? I know that you recently came from France, from a tournament. Tell us a little bit more about yourself before jumping into the basketball discussions.
Hey everyone, first of all, thank you for having me here, because it's truly an honor to be part of this roundtable alongside such respected coaches and basketball minds. Right now, I'm coaching under 20 team and academy, which is national project focused on developing top level youth talents. And I have been coaching for over 16 years, and my passion is helping not just young players grow both on and off the court.
Thank you, Lukas. And from the Czech Republic, we jump straight to Brazil, where José is waiting for us. So, José, how is life and basketball life in Brazil these days for you?
Hi, everyone. I'm excited to be here. I want to say thank you for inviting me to be here with great coaches and share some experience and some knowledge about the basketball that I could have in my career. So here in Brazil, some coaching some great clubs as a Flamengo, as national teams, in young national teams. I could coach it in the World Cup under 19 two times in Serbia in 2007 and 2011 Latvia. So it's for me, it's a pleasure to share this experience and this knowledge that I could receive in this career. It's for me, it's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Jose. And now we go back to Don to jump into the discussion because, as we all know, we are here representing federations, academies, clubs. But actually, we need answers to the same questions: how we can develop our young players, how we can have a holistic approach towards their development, how we can have better coaches. So these are, we believe, questions that all of us would like to hear more answers, more perspectives. And Don, tell us please about the foundation of the elite player development in the US basketball, about your philosophy and the long-term player development plan, because you've been involved in this, as I said, for 4 decades. So we would love to hear how is the process going in order to develop young players and also to develop coaches. 1 second, Don. I ask you to unmute. Yes.
This is a great question. We could have hours and hours and hours of discussion on this topic. But put it very simply is, we in the United States we have so many coaches and players playing the game of basketball. What USA Basketball is trying to do is just kind of encompass everything kind of under our umbrella. Now, that's not saying that coaches that are coaching youth buy into what we want done, but certainly we try to give some structure to developing youth players in our country. We do this in several different ways. We have a curriculum that we just came out with a number of years ago. Now it's in print, but the curriculum is for skill development for coaches, for guiding coaches at 4 different levels. You have your introductory level, which is for the youngest and least skilled, and then you have your all the way up through your performance advanced level, which is for like elite players. So that curriculum has been really, really good for us to get out. Coaches are very interested in our curriculum. They can take things that are useful for their team. And many times, we find out, and I'm sure this is true, maybe other places too, but many of our coaches are former players or parents or people who have not really had any coaching education, so to speak. And they're just trying to put together 7, 8, 9, 10 players at a certain age. And they're really kind of searching for how to do this in the best way. So our curriculum has been very, very good for coaches, and it's given, I think it's given really a significant boost to developing young players. We always say the number one factor in developing youth players is the coaches have to make it fun. Because if it's not fun for the youth, they're not going to pursue it anymore. They're going to drop out, or they're going to go to another sports. I mean, soccer is a huge thing now, not only in the world but in the United States. So, we have to make it fun for the players, and I think that comes directly from a coach's standpoint. How do we make the game fun? And then, if it's fun for the players, they're going to develop their skills outside of the coaching realm. They're going to go out on the blacktop, or they're going to go out by themselves and develop their shooting and ball handling and dribbling and so on. So that fun part sometimes is overlooked from the coaching standpoint, but I think that's very, very necessary in order to get the young players at ages 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to pursue the game and keep pursuing the game.
Okay, cool. So let's imagine that we have here like 50 coaches at this moment. Let's imagine we are part of USA Basketball. We are part of your program. Which would be the key teaching points in building high IQ, skilled and disciplined players that you'll write on the back on the whiteboard for your first presentations? Because you mentioned about being fun, but what will be the, let's say, the key, which will be
Yep.
the key teaching points for this?
Yep. Well, I think there's if you look at skill development in basketball for young players, I think there's eight skills that we stress as USA Basketball that needs to be taught to players at not only at young levels but all the way through the elite levels. I always say that you never get good enough at a skill that you graduate from a skill. And I use Stephen Curry as an example. He's the best, by far the best shooter in basketball, but he doesn't have a certificate that says you are the best shooter now, therefore you don't have to practice shooting anymore. So the skill work is a continuous thing, more so than you get to a certain point and you're already good. So the 8 skills that we really emphasize are shooting, passing, rebounding, ball handling, and then footwork, and did I say screening is 6, and then whole offense and whole defense. So we take those 8 skills and we really emphasize that those are skills that need to be developed in young players and refreshed. I use the term refreshed in players that have those skills. So when I coach our junior men's team, we refresh a lot of those skills, whereas in the younger teams, we really teach those skills. So once we get those eight skills identified and how to teach it, then we go on to, all right, how do we determine in young players if our skill work is how good it's becoming? In other words, if I look at a player, how do I determine if they're making any progress in their skill work? And then we go through 7 and 8, whole offense and whole defense. So we really emphasize playing 3-on-3 a lot. I know it's really not so prevalent in the United States as it is in perhaps Brazil or Croatia. But that's one way you can really tell if your players are making any progress in their skills is by putting a competitive 3-on-3 action into it. Because now you find out, all right, how good a rebounder they are, how good with their left hand they are and dribbling, how good a footwork they have. So once you really work on the skill work and then you develop the 3-on-3 work, I think you get a pretty good picture of the skill level of your players. So that's our emphasis, is those eight skill factors that we enter, and then putting that to use in competitive form.
Okay, Don, and we have one more key question for you, because here we have also many representatives of federations. How about creating this ecosystem that allows the young talent to flourish? As you are very aware of, the federations are trying to have the national selections and working with kids from a young age, working also with coaches. What are the best practices for USA Basketball to develop a structure of this kind of ecosystem?
Well, I think in that aspect of it, the first thing that I think we try and do in developing that ecosystem is getting kids to play, and we find out that in a lot of, I go to a lot of countries where there are not many outside hoops, there are not many chances not only gymnasiums, but there's not a lot of chances for kids just to play on their own. We find out that has really been an important factor in development of basketball in some of the countries that I go to. So one of the things that the United States has been so good at is developing players, is because there's numerous places for the players to play. And, they can go outside. I think that's really a big factor that has helped us as in the United States to develop our players. For the fact there's a lot of places to play, and secondly, I think there's a lot of interest in the game of basketball coming from former players that have really helped players develop.
Okay, I would like to go now to José. Coach Don, how much time we have, because we know that you are now on your way to get a flight. How much time we have with you, just to be able to manage?
Yeah, I'll for a bit yet.
Is your grandson going to be a manager next year again?
Oh. Okay. We'll go now to José. And José, we would like to ask you. You've been working in federation a lot of time, representing the highest possible level for the women basketball, being the head coach of the national team, being a part of national team staff for many years. When we talk about this ecosystem that the federation should develop and should coordinate, what are the key aspects to maintain a tight connection between the selections from the youngest category to the senior level? How we can prepare the best talents in the country to make the transition from, let's say, being a first time call for under 14 to the best that will get eventually to the final selection to the seniors.
So I believe it's a great experience, from Coach Don. So I believe the most important is how the coaches can prepare the athletes. The federations should provide opportunities for young players to interact with more experienced players when they are called up to the adult national teams for training session and matches, with the aim of giving these more experienced players experience of the games, so that they can become a reference point for the young players. Having experience of international competitions at youth level can help you gain experience of various factors present in both environments, such as the routine of preparing for the tournament, communication with the team, table and court officials, conduct and posture during the match, etc. In short, knowing how to deal with the international competition environment helps to reduce anxiety and increase focus on the specific aspects of the game that the coach needs to resolve.
So by saying this, we will go to the key topic that we wanted to discuss with you about the mental toughness and this champion's mindset. How are you planting the seeds? Because of course, by age, the players can come closer to the level or to the prediction that a coach of a youth selection can give from day one. But how do you develop this part of resilience in the young athletes, the part of embracing the process, and how the coaches in Brazil are passing the torch from one to another in order to continue the development with the young players?
Could you allow me to share some a screen, please?
Yes,
And
of course.
I think it's better to understand what I think. I like to talk a lot, so I need to follow some guide, so and I can talk for rest of the day here.
No
So
problem.
let
Please
me share.
feel free to share the screen. Yes.
Okay. Just a minute, please. Could you see this the share
Yes, we
the
see it.
screen?
Yeah. Yes, we see it.
Yeah.
Yes, all good.
So let me follow some guidance. I think it's better to understand what I want to say. Um, I want to start by stating the following. Coaches are a source of knowledge for athletes. They are responsible for transmitting this knowledge to the athletes and making sure they know what they are supposed to do. Speaking of leadership and resilience, there is a key factor to existence, both and this key factor an innate threat and capability. In other words, knowing you are capable is the foundation of leader. What kind of leader will you be if you don't have that skill? We know there are several leadership types and styles, but regardless of which one of you are, being and setting the example to be followed is the common necessary ingredient. Since coaches are the source of that knowledge, is their responsibility to offer high quality training so that the technology is passed on efficiently to the athletes. And there's also a welcoming environment on the part of the coach to be available to answer any question along the process. And the more information, the better the technology that is transmitted, the better the decision making by the athletes. I did some appointments, and I think it's better and understand what I think it's most important. I believe the relationship between the players and the coach and understand what they need to do, I think is the best way to achieve the goals.
Excellent, excellent. And let's keep it let's keep the slides on. I will just go back to Coach Dan for a second, and then Lucas, we didn't forget about you. We we just want to take because Coach Dan has only 10 more minutes to be with us, and then we go back to hosted presentation. Coach, I hope you can hear us. We already have a few questions for you, and I would like to ask for some answers. Uh, in your eyes, what determines the progression to each level? It's a combination of data and the eye test. How big is the data, for example, in for US basketball, talking about the young players' development?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Could you repeat that question?
So I was asking what determines the progression to each level for the young players? It's a combination of data and the eye test. How do you measure the progression of a player during your program?
That's a great question because I think you measure skill work in a number of different ways. First of all, it's got to be just the eye test. I mean, you can tell when I go evaluate players for our junior teams, the first thing that pops up is what's their skill level, and so that comes just because of the eye test. Can they use their left hand? Do they, can they make cuts to the basket? Do they finish around the basket? So I think the first thing is an eye test, but then I think you see them in competition, which really brings out the skill level in each player. So that's why I go back to saying that we really enforce the aspect of working on skills, but then also putting it in 3-on-3 competition in all our practices to determine how high our skill level is becoming. And that's one thing we really evaluate, how we evaluate the skill level of our players. I think then secondly, after that, the competition factor then will determine what you need to work on. So you watch them in competition 3-on-3, then you go back and say, all right, we need more work with our left hand. We need more work with our shooting. We need more work with our rebounding as an individual skill. So it kind of, you do your reps, and then you correct your reps, and then you go back and rep it again to get the habit formed. Skills are habits, and in order to build habits, I think you have to have repetitions. Well, in order to get good repetitions, you have to have some form of correction in those repetitions when they're not the way that they should be, and then you go back and rep it again. So your habits are built on constant repetition, and once those repetitions are built, then as you get older, go back, I call it refresh those repetitions. So our junior national teams, such as when I had Jason Tatum and Scotty Barnes and Evan Mobley, and those guys who were really, really in order to keep the skill level at a very high level for them.
Okay, Coach, this was from Lee Clark, the question. So all the credits to him. We have one more question for you. As the birthplace for basketball, how do you envision the United States leading the next evolution of the sport, not just in terms of athletic performance, but also in shaping the global basketball culture and the psychological development of young players? What innovative strategies or philosophies do you believe will define the future of basketball worldwide? A question coming from David Almaceas.
That's certainly a loaded question when you talk about what's our next steps to keep development of players in the United States, and I think the world is certainly catching up to us from the development standpoint. Not that we're that far ahead. We just have more players who are very gifted. So I always said that if you would take our top 5 players at the U17 level against maybe Brazil or Croatia, we would not win every game. That's that would be a situation where it would be very good games. But once you take our next 7, usually our depth is so good that our next 7 is very much as skilled as our top 5. So that allows us to really compete at a high level versus international teams. So what we're focused on is developing the whole player, both skill-wise, and I think coaches have a lot to do, just as like my friend from Brazil was saying, from the leadership standpoint. But I think coaches have a lot to do with, and probably the most to do with those players' development at a young age, so that they stay with it and develop skills on their own. I think that's really a key for us is keeping the game simple enough that players can develop their skills by themselves. And when I say that, we really emphasize the fun part to it, but also teaching them through our curriculum some of the things that we emphasize with each skill, so that players can practice on their own. They're not going to get a lot better with only a 2-hour practice daily or every other day. They're just not. So they have to really work on their skill level on their own. The skill level is made individually, and the teams are made when you have your team practices. So our coaches concentrate on team practice, putting a team together in a practice session. And I think that players have to understand, hey, if I want to get better, I want to have to do some of these skills, on my own.
Mhm. Coach, we are going to take this 30 minutes that we had with you as a great teaser for the upcoming coaches table talks. That you already confirmed that you are going to be for the next one, since your trip came totally unexpected. And we are thanking you very, very much for your time. We wish you a safe trip. And we now have the contacts, so we are going to pass you the questions that for sure many of our guests have for you. And definitely, we are seeing you at the very next roundtable for coaches. Correct, coach?
Well, first of all, I appreciate you setting this up. And this is something that is going to benefit coaches and players around the world. You have two other really great coaches here that have some really good ideas. So I hope you keep up this round table for coaches. I think it's going to be very beneficial. Thank you very much.
Thank you, coach, and have a safe trip. Okay, now we go to 1 second. Yes. We go to Lukas. Lukas, we heard in some interesting thoughts regarding this transition of the young players, and you are now the head coach of Czech Republic under 20 national team. So from this stage, I mean, a young player has only, let's say, the university games, right? Like the under 23, probably you have in Czech Republic, uh, to make it to the ultimate level, the senior national team. But already at the age of 19, so some of your players are currently playing professionally. So they are a part of teams who are competing in the national championships. What roles do under 20 and this under 23, let's say the university squad teams, play in bridging the gap between youth competition and the senior national team and the senior competition, Lucas?
Thank you for the question. I think the transition from youth basketball to professional basketball is one of the most critical and fragile moments in a player's journey. And for example, at Czech Academy, we don't see this stage as a single jump, but as the gradual steps. And we try to simulate the demands of a professional level through, for example, video analysis, hard practices, physical preparation, high-level competition and tournaments, and the creation of daily routines that match the demands of professional clubs. And the main goal is to reduce the shock factor when the players first enter a professional locker room. And the question was about the under 23. Sorry, about under 23 and under 20.
Yeah, so basically the roles of these two selections in the structure in the program of your federation to support the let's say the continuous development of the young players coming to the top level, which is the senior national team, of course.
Yeah, I think that under 20 and under 23 teams are crucial stepping stones because they give players the chance, for example, to compete internationally against high-level peers, learn to handle physicality, speed, and decision-making at a semi-pro or pro level, or experience the culture, expectation, and intensity of the senior national team environment. And like not every player is ready to jump straight from under 18 to the senior level. That's tough. And these age groups create space for, let's say, late bloomers, players who need more time to, for example, grow physically, emotionally, or tactically also. And in our under 20 program, we have seen that even one extra year of international competition can make a major difference in a player's readiness.
Jose, many times we are talking about the methodology, right? The methodology of Brazilian basketball, of Czech basketball, of USA basketball. What this means to you, and what a good methodology should have in order to be implemented successfully. So at the end of the day, we can get a final product. And if we are getting into a kind of basketball gym and we see there a bunch of players, man or woman, doesn't matter, on an eye test, as Coach Don was saying, we can see, hey, this player should be from Brazil because look how, I don't know, it's matching with the methodology that they have. What this means for you and how you are doing this in Brazil to have this strong identity for your players.
No, good question. Good question. You know, let me share one more time the screen.
Please do.
So it's always okay. Yeah. It's okay. Can you everybody see the
Yes,
screen?
now it's perfect. It's full
Okay.
screen. Yes.
It's okay. Perfect. So I want to talk about the feeling, the feeling, the bridging youth to pro. It's the same content that the coach Luka told us right now. The daily work will allow you to create a training routine, and more than that, it will allow to create habits of action when faced with the challenges of the game. In other words, it will better prepare the players to make the right decisions when asked. In short, everything has to do with decision making. The more experience, the more knowledge, the greater the chance of making good decisions. So the challenges that the players face when they move from the academies for the professional clubs, and about the methodology that we can use. So entering a more demanding environment, entering an environment with players who already have more experience in this environment, and they needed to obtain a satisfactory performance in order to collaborate with the team's performance so that the team can succeed and achieve the expectations. So, and I believe that the federations and the clubs can work together to facilitate this transition, offering a great amount of experience, bringing young players together with more experienced players in this demanding environment, training, competitions, events, etc.
Okay, Lucas, just to we can make it from now a dialogue for you. You know, you can follow up on each other's thoughts. That would be important beside my support questions. But you coming, let's say, from right, you are the next generation of coaches, a young coach. How was it for you to get the support coming from your federation programs to develop as a coach? Because we can talk as much as we want about developing players, but if we don't address the development of the coaches, I think we cannot come close to the results that we are all expecting, right? So what from your experience, you know, how did you build your, say, let's say, the knowledge coming from the federation programs that you are running in the Czech Republic right now?
Yeah, thank you. I think that first of all, like how should national federation support their youth coaches? I think that federation must provide some a clear development framework, you know, like with aligned playing philosophies, terminology, and expectations from under 16 to the senior team to be on the same page. Offer continuous education. What do you mean? Some clinics, mentorship, and you know, opportunities to learn from better coaches, from senior coaches, or from successful programs. I think it's very important. Or for example, create open communication channels between youth coaches, club coaches, and senior national staff. Because how Coach José told that we have to, you know, create environment where we will communicate, where we will be on the same page, and where we will help to each other. Because we cannot compete on the club level, but on the end of the game, we have to have same goal, and I think the goal is to produce as much as possible players for senior national team. And the last thing, I think the federation must also build a culture of collaboration. Like how I said, like no competition across age categories. I know that wins are important, but I think in the youth process, it's not the most important. So when youth coaches understand the like, let's say, the bigger picture, they can better prepare players to step into it.
And an example for that would be, right, the academy of Czech basketball, because you have an academy under the umbrella of the federation. I don't know, Jose, if you have this in Brazil, but I find it as an interesting example to point it out here and discuss about it. So you have an academy, and the role of the academy is clearly nurturing talent and preparing the talents for the senior level, for the European leagues, for the, of course, senior national team, and so on. And also should be, right, the environment where coaches like you, without having the pressure of the results that let's say, the coach of the senior national team may have, or the coach of a professional team definitely has, you could feel that the focus is 100% on player development. Tell us a little bit about this model of Czech Basketball Academy, and how it came alive, and what is the purpose of it, and how are you able to foster the development of coaches and players within this youth program.
Yeah, we were created like 4 years ago. A big thank to our federation, and especially Jiří Velš and Michael Ježdík for it. I think it was a great idea, and I think that academies like Czech Academy are positioned to bridge the gap, between youth and professional basketball, because our role is not just about skills training, it's about holistic development, let's say, because we expose players to high competition thanks to foreign tournaments and participation in the second highest league in the Czech Republic, because we have players between 15 years old and to 19 years old, and we are playing men's competition. We don't play youth competition. We just go for foreign tournaments, and then there we play against youth. And we try to create an environment where accountability and professionalism and daily growth are part of our culture. And our goal is to develop players who are not only technically and tactically prepared, but also mentally and emotionally ready to compete in top European leagues. And that's the reason why we have a mental coach for the personal development of our players and coaches, because I think this is needed in modern age.
Okay. Competing internationally, Jose, means let's say, to grow outside of your comfort zone. And you know very well what I'm talking about, because you have been coaching on highest level, not only in Brazil, but also internationally. And we know that we have many coaches in our hub who are intrigued by the opportunity to coach abroad in order to learn more and to grow, as I said, outside of their comfort zone. How was that process for you, and how did your international experience help you to become the coach that you are today?
No, great question. Let me one more time to share the screen. I think it's better to understand what I need to do. So just a minute. It's so fast. Okay. It's okay. Everybody can see the screen.
Yes. Yeah? Yes. Perfect.
Okay. Perfect. I want to talk about the coach's role. No, I believe in two things: what to do and how to do. So what to do, teach the players ways to execute whether the physical tasks like fundamentals, tactics, skills, or the mental ones, like overcome limitations, deal with pressure, expectations, win, losses, discipline, relationships, etc. So it is what to do. But I think that's the most important is how to do and how to do physical aspects in two aspects. You know, the physical aspects work throughout exercise that enable learning and evolving technique and team tactics, entire season planning and individual practice in order to improve the ability to execute the fundamentals of the game at the highest level. Another aspect is the mental aspects and correct and explain the execution so as to make the players understand it and strengthen their success rate at it, as much as improve their decision making ability, especially at the clutch moments. So I believe they prepare the players for the unpredictable moments, as much as for the predictable ones through scouting reports. Let me talk about some lessons that I learned. Coaching them so as to be able more assertive and precise in their teachings and guidance. When I was coaching in Japan, so about some experience in international experience, I could coach in Japan, and when I was coaching team in Japan, a country which has such strong and disciplined culture, I was trying to teach them a certain lesson in tactics, and the players seemed to want me to tell them exactly what to do, step by step. They expect me to draw every single movement and decision they need to make, almost as if leaving no room for improvisation, self-analysis, or independence. I realized them that even the excess of discipline can serve as an obstacle when trying to make the right decision. So coach should offer a variety of possibilities and teach them to be able to analyze them and to trust themselves before making the right choice according to the situation. It's a curious experience that I could live in Japan when the players wait and say what they need to do exactly. Example for when I played a set when you use the pick and roll, and I explained the movement, the set play, and finish with the pick and roll, and they waiting to say what they need to do after the pick and roll. So I don't know. I don't know how the defense can give the problem. You need to solve the problem. So if they pass chasing or if they pass behind the screen, or they have the opportunity to shot, you take the decision. But because the culture of the country, they wanted that I said them exactly what they need to do. It's a curious situation.
So actually, this is coaching beyond X and O's. So, you talk about leadership, we talk about communication, and this is really a topic that I like. I like so much. So why player development is also about relationships, not only drills? Because with this player from Japan, for example, once
Yeah.
you build it a relationship of trust, of empowering them to think by themselves, to make decisions, and so on, then the development, I assume, you will tell us, it comes easy, right? Because it cannot be development only by executing different drills.
Yeah, I believe one thing, I think the coaches should facilitate learning. And since the coach should facilitate learning, it's in their hands to put the players in the position to be able to execute as close as possible to what was taught. And good communication is a key to achieve that. Just as the passer and the receiver of that pass must communicate well between them, so our coaches and players in their own communication. It's gotta be as clear as possible. Coach should be good salespeople in the art of persuasion, and knowing what they teach is crucial, especially when it comes to the coach-player relationship. The better the ability to convince, the better the mindset among everyone around. Good staff management also impacts positively and the players' ability to learn because they now have more to copy and learn from.
Jose, I would like you to let this slide on. And Lucas, I would like to
Okay.
hear your take on this because it's a very interesting topic. Coaching beyond X and O's, you know? How is
Yes.
that working in your program?
You know, I like X and O's, but I know that sometimes we rely on that too much, and I totally agree with Coach Jose that you know, like it's about also relationship with the players, you know, and about the clear pathway that players know what to do, and the X and O's are important, but in our Czech academy, you know, that the biggest asset of our players must be that they have the passion. You know, they have the passion. They want to make the culture of improvement every single day, and to love competing. You know, because we want, like every practice, we want to have same intensity like during the games, and our main goal is to have every day as a game day. Every day is a game day, and we want to be better every single day, and you know, I think that passion is the most important thing, because if you don't have passion, if you don't love the process, and not just winning the championships and these things, if you don't love the process, you cannot be successful. You know, like this is the most important for me. If player has the passion, because if you has the passion and you love the process, and you every day you come back, and every day you want to improve, every day you want to work hard, I think that this is the best gift for the coaches of their players.
Now, to build this patience, you need to communicate a lot with them, right? And you know, in nowadays, it may come more difficult for players to embrace this communication on both ends, to embrace that coaching sometimes is constructive criticism and so on. So it's one thing to work on this with a senior player, a player under contract, you know, who needs to take care of it because it's part of his job, and it's different to do it with teenagers, with 18, 19 years old players. How you make them, how you build the trust in your relationship with the players? I have these questions for both of you, but Lukas, you can continue, and if you can answer first, how you build this trust relationship player coach, that from that moment you can really build that. You know, you need patience, you need to understand what is coming from my side. How you are building this relationship?
First of all, I think that talent doesn't thrive in chaos, you know, like, because players need clarity. Like they need to know, like, what expected of me, coach, what's the next step, or what does success look like for you. Structured pathway defines key development milestones like physical, tactical, or mental, and help players and coaches track the process. at Czech Academy, this structure guides everything from practice planning, controlling loading, off-court development, and feedback. And it's not about over controlling players, but about giving them a clear roadmap. And I think also the most important value for me is to be honest to the players, because my experience is when some new player came or comes to Czech Academy from the club where they are like, let's say, stars, and I start to be honest, they are surprised. They are surprised, and they don't know like what to do, how to react. And after that, because on the practice you don't have time to say, I don't know, 10 minutes why you are telling him this. But after the practice, you have to come to the player and say why I told you this, and why I told you this on this way. I was strict, I was straight, and I was honest. So after that, I have to say, player, why I react like this, and why it's good for him.
José, what's your take on this? Do you think that this may be one of the biggest challenges that the players needs to face once they transition from, let's say, the youth level to the senior, or coming close to the senior, like under 20, under 23? What's your take on this? On communicate with the player, and you can go, let's say, by age, because you have experience in all the levels.
So I agree totally with the coach Lukas. I think you need to be the player the better possible. It said exactly what you wait that the player can do or can execute. So sometimes I talk to the coach for youth coach, and I talk to them that sometimes the coaches say, the player can do exactly what I want that he do. But sometimes the coach couldn't explain better for the athletes what really they wanted that they execute. So the communication is very important. I believe that the communication is the most important in clarity, in more clean possible. So I believe that the coach is the responsible for what the player can do. Sometimes we wait the player execute some things, but the coach couldn't explain better what they wanted that the player can execute. So I think the initial process of for me the format of how I want that the player can play in this moment, no? So I believe the coach is the most important person in this moment. So put what the player can do, what the responsibility that they have in the team. It's a lot of examples, no? It's not a single thing that the every teams like US. Why US? It's a great team every time or every competition in international competition, because they have a lot of process. It's a good process, and and graduating, and since the school, the high school, so in the college and the pros. So this process is not talking about the athlete, but the person. And I believe that how you can learn, it's most important. How you can learn, not just how you can execute, but how you can learn. And since you can learn, you can execute the things.
Okay, and I would like to continue on this topic, because for sure some of the questions that we are answering now to you answered before to some of the coaches who put their touch on your evolution as professionals, and how important is to have mentors. How important is the mentorship programs that can be run inside the federation, let's say, or inside the club or an academy? How much influence had Lukas, for example, the people, and I've seen already some question in the chat on that, on this topic. How important were, let's say, the mentors that Czech basketball provided to you as young coaches to ask these questions, to receive some answers, and then to process them and get to your own way of thinking and coordinating, coaching a group of players?
Yeah, good question. I think this is so important to have somebody, to discuss everything. Because, for example, as me, when I was younger, I was starting as a coach when I was 17 or 18 years old, and I was learn more of my mistakes. It's also good. But sometimes it's better to have somebody with who you can discuss like everything on and off court things. And to have mentor is it's so important. I'm happy that I had chance to work with very good coaches. I don't know, Torsten Leubel, Luboš Bartoň, Petr Tremel, and these guys from national teams, or also from, for example, Torsten Leubel work in Germany in BBL, and he led some teams in Japan. So this coach gave me a lot, and every time when I'm not sure, I have some doubts, I have some questions in my mind, I can call him and I can ask him whatever I want, and he answered me. So yeah, this is so important, and every coach, not just a young coach, I think needs someone like this, because we are not the best in all the aspects. You can be very good in something, but you can be not very bad, but you can have some big gap to improve in something else, and if you have somebody who can help you, it's very important for your growth.
Yeah, Jesus Escribano was asking you, how did Diego Ocampo, the head coach of senior team, impact the way youth is being developed? For example, talking about the roles of the more experienced coaches in your federation.
Yeah, with Diego we are in touch, especially during the summer, because during the season he has a lot of work to do with Manresa, and he's doing very solid in the league and in Champions League. So we are in touch. We spoke the most about the players. We spoke the most about the players from under 20 who has the potential, for example, to reach a national senior team. Also, we are talking about some philosophy about how to play defensively, how to play offensively, what is typical for Czech players, or for what should be typical for Czech players and Czech national teams. So yeah, I'm glad that I can communicate with him, and that we have such a coach as a head coach of our senior national team. And also Diego, he knows how important is to take care about the young players. How important is develop young players and trust them. This is also, I think, sometimes weakness of Czech clubs, that they don't believe, they don't trust, and they don't giving the chance and time to the young players. So they need to be more patient.
What about you, Jose? I believe that you had some mentors back in the days, and now you are mentoring the youngest coaches, right? How is the mentorship programs going in for Brazil basketball?
Great question. I like so much to talk about it. Please let me share one more time. So just a minute, please. Yes. Okay. So I want to talk about the preparing coaches for success. I like to talk about this content. I like to talk about the young coaches and what we can share with the young coaches, because the same happens with the players, happens with the coach. Sometimes the coach can't execute the better that we can do because uh, he didn't learn or don't have anybody who teach him about this. So I like to share the situation, the experience more than the situations. Sometimes the coach is asking me, "Hey, coach, what the better workshop? What the better uh, course that I can do of basketball to prepare the coaches?" I talk to the coaches. Um, the better thing that you can do to improve your abilities to coaches is watching a great coach that you like to watch this coach. Please go to the practice, go to the games, talk to with these coaches, because I think it's the better situation that you can improve your knowledge when you can see the coaches that you like, to watch it he working. So about the preparing of the coach, I want to talk this situation, some keys, essential skills that they can do. Um, the most important skills are knowledge of basketball, knowledge of teaching and teaching learning process is the very important, this situation. How you can teach the player, how you can teach the coaches this process, now the teaching and learning process. Knowledge of people management, for me, is one thing. It's very important thing. The relationship, sometimes you have knowledge, but you can pass this information because you don't have good communication. You can have to people management. So it also knowledge of people management and good communication skills, knowledge and ability to interpret the psychological profile and human beings. So it's very important. Um, and I believe the national federations that support their coaches to ensure a clear and unified development pathway. Federation should provide opportunities for young players to interact with more experienced players, like I said in the starts. And for us here in the women's team, when I started the process, I invited some coaches for the national league, for the clubs or schools, can participate with our process and our practice, our campus before the tournament, because these coaches can watch how we can work with the players, and then you can like a copy and pass in your team. I think we need the reference. I think in our life is the same. We need the reference to follow the way. So for me, it's the most important when you um, can be a mentor, when you can improve another coach. For us in the national team, when I could be in a men's and a women national team, it's better for us if the coaches of the country can learn with us what we need to do in the national team, and he can improve, and they can improve in your club, because really in the national team in these days we have a short time. So who prepare the players for the national team is the club's coach. I think is the very important. So the communication with the coaches who is referenced as national team coaches with the club's coaches, I think it's a great way.
Okay. I have a question for both of you because both of you have been assistant coaches and head coaches. And we all know that the role of the assistant coach changed a lot in the last decade, say at least. Jose, how do you remember your first years as an assistant coach? And what are now your demands from your current assistant coaches? How important is to delegate the tasks and to make everybody to feel accountable, responsible, and important in a basketball staff, and how you are running the dynamics between you as a head coach with the assistant coaches, and I repeat, now in 2025, because I think I have the feeling that the things changed a lot in the past years.
Oh, it's true. It's true that we could win a lot of titles in my career. So in clubs or national teams, but I couldn't win nothing alone. Nothing. I always needed to my staff. Always. It's my responsibility. I talked with my team. All the things that happens here, it's my responsibility. I am responsibility to do what the things here, then take the decision. But for me, is the most important moment when I can talk with my staff and they give me solutions and give me the opinions that I can use and take the better decision. So it's my responsibility. It's the first time that I say, hey, it's my responsibility to get the team. Okay, the consequence, it's my responsibility too. So for me, the preparation of the competition is the very, very important. So how we use the staff. For example, for me, the physical conditioner physical is the very important, because he give me the intensity of the practice, how the player can execute the sequence of the daily program of the practice. They can give me this situation, because he knows better than me how is the intensity that we need to use in this situation. So the assistant coaches give me the informations about the opponent, about our team, about the situations that happens. So when I could get the Brazilian national team for women's, I never before coached women. I always work with men. So I take the decision to call for my staff coaches who coached in the women's, so they can give me information that I didn't know about the women. So it's very important in the preparation, and when you need to choose the persons on the professionals who came who came work with me. They knows the situation and share the knowledge to be better. So the better the team, the most important is better the team. So delegate some functions, some roles. It's very important to give for the assistant and the physical conditioner or the management about the team.
Lukas, you wear the both pairs of shoes. So you wear the head coaching shoes, the assistant coaching shoes. Uh, how did you make the transition, and how much you demand now from your assistant coaches, for example, in the under 20 or in the academy?
Mhm. Yeah, that's a very good question and great answer of Coach Jose. I love my staff, and I need my staff. I am a team player, and I don't want to do things alone. So the most important thing you mentioned is that you have to make your staff feel important. And how to do it? I think by trusting them with real responsibility, not just giving them some tasks, but letting them own parts of the process on video session, during the game, during the practice. You involve them in decision making, ask there for their input, and give them space to share ideas. Like to have open communication. And I'm trying to make this an environment, to have this environment every time in Czech Academy, in under 20. And for example, we are making practice, and during the practice, my strength and conditioning guy came to me and told me, hey, this is too much, let them some shooting, or let's stop it, because we need some energy for tomorrow. And if we don't have open communication, he will never come. And I want to listen them. This I learned from Neno Ginsburg. When I was his assistant coach in senior team, also in Eurobasket 2022 in Prague. And he every time listen his stuff. And if, for example, he didn't understand something, he asked question. I was there like the youngest guy in the coaching staff. I was there like my first year, and every time when I told him something and he didn't understand, he asked me the question. I felt so important, and I was so happy because somebody like Neno is listening me. So yeah, this is so important, and I don't believe that coach who is not team player can be successful. I don't believe this.
Talking about the extensions of the head coach, we mentioned the strength and conditioning coaches, the trainers. You mentioned the assistant coaches, the scouters, the managers. What about the team captains? How do you gentlemen decide about your team captains? Jose, you can start with this. How you decide who will be the next team captain, and what what qualities should this person, and basketball player of course, should have?
First of all, I think the captain who can represent the team, more than team, represent the the mindset of the team. So not just for the ability that he can offer for the team, but the mindset. He needs to represent the mindset of the team. So if you want to show a team who is fight every time, the captain needs to represent the situation. So in practice, or in your life, or in each situation, because I think in our lives, it's the game, it's our life is similar. Every time we need to the reference, so to follow, and the team is the same. The team needs a reference. Sometimes it's the coach, of course. The coach give the situations that the team need to do. But I believe the captain represents better the players. No, so the players between them. I believe that they can look the captain and say, okay, I will follow him. I have in my teams always good leaders on court, the captain. So in Flamengo, Marcelinho Machado, it's a great player, but it's in the old man and the old player, but it's the first player who starts the practice and the last player who left the court. So it's an example. So if he wants that the team play good, he needs to follow the example. And like Marcelo, it's a great captain that I have in the women's national team. Erica de Souza, it's a old player now, is retired, but when he played, I put a player together with Camila, it's a young player who is now is national team, but it's a reference of the team. He can play in the WNBA, but Erica teach Camila Cardoso it's how she can be better. So I believe that when you have a reference that not just it's a good shooter or a good player, but it's a good person who can represent his methodology, he can represent your mindset of the game.
Okay, Lukas.
Yeah, I totally agree with Coach Jose. Totally agree, because for me also, like being a captain is not just about the talent. You know, it's more about character, work ethic, and influence on others. And I look for someone who leads by example every single day, because you know, like lead by example. I think is the most important. How Coach Jose mentioned, like this guy, if he will be first on the practice and he will be last after the practice, you know, the others they will see it. So he needs to communicate well, means the respect of teammates, and puts that in first, and he has to be especially a good person. How Coach Jose mentioned, for example. I had Jakub Nečas last year with under 20, the guy who is right now in Duquesne University and NCAA, and this guy was absolutely unbelievable. You know, like we had open communication, we had honest communication, and for example, he came to me during the practice when we did 5-on-0. And he told me, "Hey, coach, this tempo, you know, I think it's not good. Like we are not running." And I was thinking about the sets, how to run the sets, what we will use, what we will not use. And I was like, hey, this guy is right. You know, this tempo is not good. And this is the reason why the open communication and trust also the players, it's so important, because I told him immediately, like, hey, if you will have something in your mind, come to me and be honest, you know. And if we didn't create this relationship, it's not possible, you know, and it will not be functional. So this is also important, that the players, especially captain, needs to know that he can say everything, you know. He can say everything to you between four eyes, and you can communicate about everything on court and off the court. And with him, I have, like, almost every single day he was in my room, and we were talking about how to be better, you know, how to develop the team, how to compete better, and these things. So yeah, this is very important, to have somebody who is a good human being.
Because the time is flying, and I would like also to take some of the questions of our guests today, the people who are attending this webinar. I have one more question for you, and then we will start with the Q&A. In a season, we are facing many highs and lows. It cannot be only honey and milk. And of course, like there is no team who never lasts a game. There is no team who will win them all. How how do you instill confidence? How do you bring light in a dark locker room, let's say on a losing streak, where you feel that the players, you know, are down mentally, and how do you make them believe in that common goal that eventually will serve to all the individual goals they may have? How you as a leader, how you can change the dynamic of a team in a very, very difficult moment of the season or of a tournament, etc. Jose, you can start.
Oh, it's a great question, and I believe that this is the thing that can change the situation on court, outside of court, in the restroom, on the locker room. I believe that this is the most important. Knowledge is important, of course. The knowledge is important, but I think then important than knowledge, it's how you can management the person, the athlete, the how you can management the staff. So the relationship it's most important. So the coach is the reference. When they get the responsibility to the team, the coach get the responsibility to clean what he wants about the team. So this is the clear message. This is the most clear message. So we can negotiate a lot of things, but I believe that the most important thing that you can't negotiate is principles of the character of the team. So you can the values, some values you can't negotiate. So if the coach put in practice these situations, I believe it's more clear possible. So the players needs to look to the coach and say, okay, he is working for me. Sometimes I talk to my team. I talk, hey team, okay, we have a game plan. Please execute the game plan. Okay, if you lost the game, no problem. I'm the first man that and out of this door, the locker room, and I talk to the press conference and I say it's my responsibility. Don't worry, but please follow the game plans. So it's the maximum that I can do. Thinking about the name of the game, basketball. Who wins the game? Who makes more points? How many points can score the head coach? 0. So the coach needs to be better seller. They need to better convince the players to do what he think. It's a great thing. I believe coaches are crazy because he needs to convince the other people do what he wants. It's a crazy. He needs to be a seller. He needs to be a great convincer about the situation. So the most important, I believe, is the confidence, and this confidence it's day by day on the example that the coach can give for not just for the players but for the staff. But when the player look to the assistant coach, he need to see a coach. When he player looks to the physical conditioner, he need to see a coach. So of course, coaches, when he get the responsibility, he put the face on the ring. Also, to give some such, or it's difficult for the coach. But okay, he needs to get the players and put your desires on court on the situations.
Okay, Lukas, let's say you are 0-2 in a group phase, but you still have the chances, so you need to to change the gear. Yeah, you need to take them to the right to the right direction. What would you say to the team, and how do you make them sure how you make sure that the spirits are high and there is still hope in that locker room?
Yeah, thank you for this question. You know, I mean, like when things are not going well for the team, the first step is to stay calm and not panic, because it's important. It's important to have, let's say, constant environment, because if you will act differently if you are win or you are lose, you have problem. I don't know, for example, when in the locker room after every win is playing music, let them play music also about after the game when you lost. If you can keep this environment, it will be more easier. And the second thing is that is important to analyze the situation. Like what is the problem? Is it tactical issue or physical one, or it's more about mentality and energy? So you have to define the problem. And I also tell my players, because I don't like, I hate when players after the game when they lost, they are like this, like almost, I don't know, crying and bad faces, like, hey, come on, like we had 40 minutes to do something and we didn't do it. So right now, no regrets, learn from our mistakes, but no regrets, right now, it's wasting of time. These feelings, this bad energy is wasting of time. So every time, like coach mentioned, like to have confidence, start confident, be confident during the game, and end the game with confidence, and doesn't matter what will be result. How coach said, if you follow the instructions, the game plan, you have good energy, and you are doing things what you should to do, and you lost. Okay, that's life, that's life, that's okay. But after the game, hey, no regrets. If you gave 100%, I don't have problem that we lost. We will see the video. We will work on it on the practices, and lives go on, and we will work hard next day.
Okay, last questions, because we already reached more than 1 hour and a half with the webinar. But of course, basketball never stops. Albab has a very interesting one, and I want to address it because we have in this hub, we have from academies to federations, we have from Eurocup clubs to clubs from second divisions, and we have coaches from all around the world. So he's asking, what advice would you give to coaches working in environments with limited facilities or equipments, but with passionate young talent? What would be your advice for them? Besides, of course, participating as often as possible to Lucentum Basketball HUB Webinars, because it's free of charge, and you see we are bringing on some interesting discussions about basketball. But let's hear some advice from your side, guys. Whoever wants to start, coaches. José?
For me, yeah, okay. I believe that it's very important to receive and to know about basketball. It's very important, of course. Is the main content, the basketball. Use the basketball for improve a player, for improve a person, for improve a assistant coach, for improve the person that you have in your side. I believe, and I try to practice put the values of the team. You need to define what the values of the team, what you want that the teams represent when you coach the team. So I believe that for the coaches, the most important, of course, the club or the management put what I need to show for the people what I can show for them about my job. So I believe the most important technology is the commitment about the values that you define of you choose of your team. So sometimes you can't be motivated Now, know everybody or know every time you can be motivated, but you need to be disciplined. For the discipline is very important content in the team, because if you are disciplined, you have a commitment. I believe that. So the most important is in the relationship between the team, the components, the staff, the club, the association, and put the values of you define of your team, show of the who watch your team playing.
Okay. Okay, Lukas, what's your advice? Maybe on the, let's say, for a coach who wants to continue to develop, to continue to get knowledge, but coming from an environment with limited possibilities.
That's a very good question. That's good. My advice probably would be, focus on what you have, not what you don't. Because passionate young players, what I said in the past, are the most valuable resource. This is the biggest value. To have players with a passion. And sometimes. You can see, for example, in Serbia, sometimes limited conditions can actually be full of creativity, like discipline and resilience. Resilience is I think, the most important word. And you don't need, how to say, expensive or fancy equipment to teach, for example, effort or jump shot or spacing or good habits. So my advice is, make the most out of every training session, even it's on outdoor court or with only one ball. So yeah, this is also my advice. And if you have players with the passion, I'm not saying that you don't have problem. You need some balls, you need some baskets, but if you have guys with the passion, it's the biggest gift for the coach.
And let's not forget that our mission is more than teach some young players to make hoops, to dribble or to rebound. Our mission is way more important. We are so lucky to be able to uh, teach, to give education through basketball, and to be a part of these players' families, so they consider the basketball program as a pillar for the development of their son or of their daughter, and that they know they can count on us for whatever problems they may have. And yeah, that's more than basketball, what we are doing. So more than basketball is also your presence here. It means a lot to us. It means that you invested today more than 1 hour and a half to build your craft, and hopefully we gave you a few pieces of knowledge, some good bricks in order to continue to build your foundation as a professionals. We are inviting you for the next webinars of Lucentum Basketball Hub. Will be many of it. We will have soon the EuroLeague Basketball Institute presenting their MBA in sports business, another useful tool of shaping a professional career in the sports business industry. Till then, thank you so much, Lukas. Thank you so much, Jose. Thank you to Don. He will be back soon, and hopefully you two gentlemen as well. We'll have you here another time. Thank you all for attending this webinar. We wish you a great week, a better weekend with many wins, many memorable moments, and stay safe, enjoy basketball, enjoy your passion, and stay close to Lucentum Basketball Hub activities. All the best. Take care, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.